Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's entertainment. How are we doing, guys? What is the crack? This is the episode of Rascal Comedy called Full House, and then two comedians didn't show up. But don't worry, the show must go on. Always. This is the show that I interrogate comedians and find out why they thought they were good enough for people to laugh at them. So, yeah, and they're very desperate as well at the moment because of COVID. Like, there are no gigs in Ireland anyway. So they beg me for slots. They go, please, Jack, I just want to perform it. And then they have to do whatever I say. So, welcome to viewers. I can see how many people is on right now. Welcome. I can imagine you two of you in the audience just sitting there going, oh, we've made a mistake, but we can't leave now. Do you remember those days? Do you remember performing? And there's only 4 people in the audience. Good times. I miss those days. So what's going on in the world? In Ireland at the moment, it's the government just do not have any idea about the normal people that they're supposed to be managing. Like, they came out recently saying, like, oh, an affordable house should be 450,000. That is affordable. This is coming from the guys that have tax-free bar in their House of Parliament, like, called it all. Like they're just living on another fucking planet. I live in Dublin. I live in the capital of Ireland. And yeah, as a county, as a city, Dublin has balls to charge the prices that it does for rent. Like, Dublin as a city is fur coat and no knickers. It thinks it's a 10. It's really a 4. Like Paris is cheaper than Dublin. At least Paris, you can see the Louvre. What can you see in Dublin? You can see the Dublin Wax Museum. If you've ever wondered what celebrities look like after a house fire, they look a little bit more flaccid. Hitler's a little bit more camp than concentration. You know, I live in a place called Ranelagh on the south side, and Dubliners always go, oh, Jesus, that's awful posh. It's not posh. It's just less dangerous. That is it, guys, you know? And I know a lot of people say, well, if you're not happy with it, why don't you go back to a country... Oh, I fucked that line up. What did I... If you're not happy with it, why don't you go back to somewhere you're not from? Oh, fuck it, I wrote that this morning. Anyway, right, enough of me. We're going to see the comedians that showed up. How are we doing, guys?
All right.
Hello there.
Hello.
I realize this is a very British show today. We've got an Irishman, an Englishman, and a Scotsman.
Yeah.
2 Englishmen.
It's like a joke.
I'm living in Scotland, so I'm at
Englishman,
halfway.
Irishman, and Scotsman.
Yeah, you are.
Walk into a Zoom open mic and no one gives a fuck.
We've got a Scotsman who lives in Dublin. We've got an Englishman who lives in Scotland, and we've got an Englishman who lives in Italy.
Who could that be? Yeah.
It's obviously Charlie. No, it's obviously you with your tan.
Could be so stupid.
It's you with your tan, Michael.
I wouldn't know.
Do you tan or do you go red? Or
do I tan?
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm quite lucky or unlucky, depending on how you view it. I just need like 5 minutes in the sun, and I go this strange color. So.
What color?
Yeah.
What's a strange
I'm not sure
color?
because it depends on the lighting. Well, there's a girl I used to know. She was extremely attractive, but when she went out in the sun, she used to go orange. I'm not exaggerating. It's not a joke. If I was going to joke, I think there's something funnier than that. She went orange. That's the maximum my sense of humor that you can look forward to. She went orange. She didn't really.
And you said she was very attractive. Did she not?
She was extremely. She was more attractive than me. Maybe she just looked attractive because people always saw her next to me. So
yeah.
My dad's fuckable next to me. Believe me.
I also love that. Like, my father does the same thing. He'll be like, I was talking to Mary, great looking girl.
But
no. It's just part of the story. Like, she's a good looking girl, Mary.
Well, the fact that she was good looking and orange, that was kind of the story. So.
Oh, okay, fair. So we're gonna start off with our first comedian of the night. It is Charlie B. Wallace. Is B in your name?
B is my initial, but it's better to just say BEE than my real middle name, which I'm not even going to say.
Okay.
It's fucking terrible.
It is B, isn't it?
I'm going to change it to B. That's better. Sounds better.
That's how bad it is. B's an improvement, yeah.
It's one of the popes.
Benedict.
Beatles, John Paul.
Hey, you got there immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust the fucking Irishman. Yeah, immediately.
Hello.
Benedict. It's Benedict.
Benedict. He was a great lad. I was going to say
Yes, I have a
Ratzinger.
picture of him
sexy.
tattooed on my ass.
Yeah. Good-looking guy. Good-looking guy.
So Charlie Benedict Wallace. That is
No,
a very,
don't say the whole thing. Oh,
that's a really well. You're giving out to me. My official name is Michael Jack McKenna.
Michael Jack. Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh, you must get so sick of that hilarious joke.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Well, it's
feel
like
sorry for your son.
well, no, because my name is Monkhouse, and even now I'm nearly 50, and even now people think it's amusing. Hey, Bob, all right, Bob. Hey. In fact, that is no, because people often ask me, because I've been teaching in crappy schools, and they say, "Why don't you work in a state school, get a proper job?" And I say, "Because I just couldn't handle the nickname." But you got Bob's lesson next day. Oh, Bob, we call him Bob.
Why do they call you Bob?
Well, I'll explain later. It takes a while. Yeah.
No, I don't get it.
Yes, you do. Bob's your uncle. Go on, knock yourself out.
You know the British entertainer Bob Monkhouse.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
The guy who
It's a triple bluff. It's a triple bluff, isn't it?
The guy who did a press conference because someone stole his joke books. Remember that guy?
Yeah, that was me.
Did like
yeah.
No,
Well, Monkhouse is great.
Understand his
He's
pain
funny than
already.
me.
Is there any relation?
I don't mind people asking if they're genuinely interested, as opposed to thinking it's a joke. The answer is no, yes, and no. If that makes any sense, in the sense that it's very, very distant, and I think after a certain point we're all related and no one's related. And B, it's not blood; it's my stepfather, so it doesn't really mean very much,
By the way, talking about Scotland, Gary, greetings from Scotland.
Hello, Gary.
Yeah, and it sounds like the start of a joke. I think that was during my monologue. So, Carey, speaking
it sounded like the start of a joke. Yeah,
it's like it's like whose line is it anyway, or gag tag? Think of a punchline.
Absolutely, I'm great at writing the setups, just not great at the punchlines.
Yeah, they're the unsung heroes of jokes, aren't they? Really.
I'm great at the holding a microphone part. Excellent.
I can't even get that far. Really.
Are you excited to hold a microphone again?
Oh, yeah.
Never heard it called that before. Never heard it called that before. Really.
I see.
Did you know? Have you noticed in the headshot on the poster? Like, I don't know why, but I'm holding the microphone in my whole hand, but only gripping it with two fingers. It's almost like a little finger, like just coming out. It's like, oh yes, turning a jokette, mini little jokette that I'm going to tell now. It's like I wish, grip it like a man.
Or did you ever see people doing this?
Yeah, those are the kind of people who'd hold their gun like this and then break their wrist the second their wrist just snap. Apparently, to do that, your wrist breaks from the
kickback
of the gun.
Focus, doesn't it?
That's right. No, you know what? If anyone does that, like they don't really used to hold a gun.
And do you know why they hold it like that? Because a gun will shoot. We're supposed to be talking about comedy, talking about fucking guns. The gun will shoot like that. So when you hold it like that, it's going to be on the body. It's going to hit you somewhere.
Yeah. It'd be quite weird if someone came up to you without a gun and just did that with their hand,
I was like,
this is why we need more female comics on. The lads just talk about guns.
I mean, says the booker. I mean, that was well within your power to make that happen, mate. But instead, you got a bunch of guys talking about guns.
I know.
I booked them and they cancel.
People look at you.
I know a place where you can hire them.
The men are the only ones that are too desperate. They're like, I
remember I used to do a show in Rome, and there was a girl I knew, good-looking girl. Well, she wasn't. She was extremely ugly, but I can't say that because it's sexist. It's not true. It's sexist. No, but
that's on the internet forever.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say a name though, so it doesn't matter.
Well, right. I'll look forward to the Twitter thread tomorrow.
No journalist is ever going to find it.
Everybody who saw her commented on how ugly she is. Right? I didn't. I just thought it.
No one watches this show anyway, Michael.
But seriously, she had her show and I had mine. Right? It wasn't a competition thing; it just sort of happened. And I remember once she said to me, "Do you get a lot of women doing your show?" And I said, "No." And she looked at me like it was my fault in some way. You know what I mean? who's sexist? It's like, I can't fucking help it, if they don't ask to do it.
Yeah, I've had comments like that about my mic, and it's just like it's free sign up. It's literally just the first 15 people, and I always get 2 guys for every 1 girl. That's like that's the typical ratio, and that's not planned. That's just how it is.
It sounds like my sex life, 2 guys.
Wasn't someone complaining about the demographic?
So many white men in here, and it's like, we're sorry for fucking existing. Like, it's just how it works out. I'm not turning anyone away.
It's political correctness gone mad, isn't it?
Dreadful. Awful.
Well, so this has gone places. This has gone some places, hasn't it?
Right. We were talking about guns.
Guns.
Lads' night out, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a lads.
This is the closest we get.
This is like party tits, except without.
Yeah. Anyway, can we wrap this up? I've got an anti-vaxxer march that I've got to be out for. I'm going to burn some masks in the street in about 10 minutes.
It's like the bachelor party with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, exactly. We're not as cool.
That's crap. That's why I hate Tom Hanks, because no matter how good he is in films, I just think of him doing that shitty sort of American carry-on bullshit,
Attractive though. I mean, he's a good-looking boy. He's
good-looking guy. Yeah, I'd fuck him.
Good-looking boy.
I'd fuck him.
Yeah.
That's funny because he was he said that about you over on his Facebook page. I think we can make this happen.
Yeah. You think I don't know? I know all these things. Yeah. I'm a stalker. I'm watching him like a hawk. Yeah.
What, Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Even when he's in films, are you like, I fucking see you, Tom? I'm watching you.
Well, me and Tom Hanks, we go back a long way, Yeah. I got him the commercial, I think, yeah.
History will remember him as the first person to get COVID because he was the first famous person. So therefore,
him and Kevin Hart.
Yeah. As long as no one talks about When Harry Met Sally, I fucking hate that film. Oh God! Do you know what? He
wasn't in that, was he?
Who was the guy in that? I can't remember.
That's Billy Crystal.
I think his name was Harry.
No, the reason why I hate that film is that I'm a teacher, and sometimes there's not talk about work just because it's relevant, and there's always a lesson about if it's possible for men and women to have platonic relationships. And every single time I do that lesson, there's always some dickhead who goes, "It's like that film When Harry Met Sally, isn't it?"
And do they ever say, "I'll have what she's having"?
Oh God, how many more fucking times? Honestly,
is that where that comes from?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen the film. I know about the orgasm in the
women
cafe.
can have orgasms too. Isn't that progressive? Wow. Yeah. What will they think of next?
Right.
This guy's even more weird that's Rob Reiner's mum. That's the director of the film's actual ma.
You know a lot about it. More
yeah, I mean, I quite liked the film, but yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that was So Rob Reiner was the director, and so the woman who famously goes, "I'll have what she's after," after Meg Ryan does the big orgasm fake scene in the restaurant is so it's kind of weird that you subjectly cast your mother as
I would imagine
an orgasm reactor.
Do you think maybe he shot that orgasm bit and then he did we'll do it a different day, so she doesn't even know?
I would imagine it's fake because if she did about 20 rehearsals, it's quite difficult, in one day.
Yeah.
Pretty
well, so she's like Carl Reiner's wife. So, I mean, I guess she's around
job,
comedy and stuff. Yeah.
Maybe they just got a vibrating chair or something like that.
Gary said, Harry Met Sally.
Yeah. Do you like When Harry Met Sally? No, I'm just faking it.
Yeah. Anyway, Charlie, are you ready to hit
I'll
the
have
stage?
the DVD.
Fuck yeah.
You ready to do some comedy? Okay, all the way in Scotland, but from England. Charlie Benedict Wallace, everyone.
That's not my Spanish name.
Yeah.
I'm not carrying on to that. I'm not doing it. No, that's I made it up for comedic purposes. It's not my real middle name. My real middle name is B. Anyway, hello everyone. As Jack mentioned, I'm an English guy. I've got a very English name and a very Scottish name, a very English accent, and that doesn't get me beaten up at all. No, walking around Scotland's perfectly safe for me with this accent. It's a terrible accent, just in general. Like I can't really use words other than like typical like English words. Like I'll be like hanging out with Americans and I might sort of copy their language and say, "Oh, look at this guy. He thinks he's a bit of a bad ass." and they're like, no, don't say that. It's like, well, what's wrong? And it's like, well, for a start, you say it as one word. And what, badass? I'm like, no, just shut up, stop talking. Just stick to saying winker or wonker or whatever it is you English say. But yeah, particularly in Scotland as well, like the kind of stuff that happens in Scotland that I have to just sort of like, I tell people and then they're like, well, what that sounds completely absurd in your accent. Like, for example, I was walking down Dundee High Street when I saw two gentlemen who I believe are referred to as junkies. They were shouting at each other quite loudly. One of them said, "Square go, like." And the other one said, "I'm going to put you in a fucking hospital." And I was like, hang on a minute, chaps. This is quite the hullabaloo for the luncheon hour. And then one of them said, "Me, you are going home in an ambulance." And I was like, why? Are there no taxis? But no, he was going to send me to hospital. So, you know, ouch. That was not a pleasant interaction. But yeah. Some of the things I've noticed, there's this weird little differences between England and Scotland. For example, I was in the supermarket, I was doing my shopping, and it was in the morning, and they wouldn't let me, but they refused sale of a bottle of wine because it was before 10 a.m.
Yeah, we have that here.
10:01, that's fine. Drink all you fucking want. But 9:59, you demonic alcoholic. But it's so stupid. It's like the mentality is like, oh yeah, if there's one thing that stops alcoholism in its tracks, it's mild inconvenience. If we're going to follow that logic, like maybe that's why the 12-step program is 12 steps, just so it sounds like a bit of a hassle. You know, so I was thinking like, oh, I was going to brew gin in my own bathtub and go drink it on a park bench, but like 12 steps, fucking that sounds a bit inconvenient. I'm going to go back to my job in high finance. Oh, if we're going to follow this logic all the way through, maybe we should just literally have 12 physical steps leading up to the door of the off license. Yeah, that'll stop all the fat alcoholics. Like, oh, fuck that. That's going to get me out of breath. No, I'm going to stick to water. Thank you very much. But yeah, what else was I going to do? Oh yeah, how's of a cheer if you've had your vaccine? No, I haven't had it. A lot of people are getting it, like who are my age or younger. And I'm thinking, don't they know how fat I am? I want to like walk into the medical center and just like lift up my shirt and say, "Look at this! Look at it! It's gonna get me. I'm on death row in this gut. Give me the vaccine quickly. Give me 4. Give me 2 in each arm. I have them all now." But there's a talk in my country and also a lot of countries actually about introducing vaccine passports. You know, if you get the vaccine, get given like a little thing. So I've had it, so that lets you travel, lets you go into bars. And there's been some concern that this will introduce a 2-tier society. And I'm just thinking, well, we're fucking English. That's how we thrive. We invented the 2-tier society. That's how we had the fucking empire. You know, we just went to someone else's country, built a 2nd tier above them without them noticing, and then didn't let them in. That's how empire works. I would like getting my vaccine passport. I'm going to get it leather bound and have it on a keychain and just slap people out of the way with it. It's going to be amazing. Just getting into bars. Get away, unwashed pleb. I also was like, I can take it really far. Like I can imagine like being like Ralph Fiennes in Schindler's List, just strolling out onto my balcony with like a dart gun loaded up with vaccines. Not even like nice Pfizer vaccines, like an AstraZeneca that's been left out in the sun, and just like plugging anti-vaxxers with it, like from my rooftop. It's gonna get dark. It's gonna get weird, but you know. COVID's driven me to new levels of desperation. Anyway, guys, I think I've horrified you all enough. Thanks very much. I'll hand back to our host, Jack Muck.
Johnny, man, everyone.
Wonderful.
Is that not a thing in England again? I forget. Like, you can't buy drink. Or you can buy drink.
I've never run into it. To be honest, I've been out of the country for a while, so fuck knows. But I've not noticed it. I'd never really tried. It was literally part of my shopping. It was in my trolley with a bunch of other like lettuce and stuff. But they can't make an exception because they just get lots of alcoholics buying like liter bottles of vodka and a single iceberg lettuce.
Yeah.
It's part of a meal.
Kind of soaks up the alcohol.
People could have vodka for breakfast, you know.
I mean, if I was an alcoholic, I'd be insulted at the people implying that I can't plan ahead. I could just buy it yesterday.
Yeah, true.
I'm an alcoholic. I'm not incompetent.
Yeah.
I could plan.
Absolutely. I'm functioning.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. Anyway, we're going to move on to our next comedian. That is Michael. Spice Girls lover.
Don't laugh at my religion. I don't laugh at your religion.
My religion is Elvis.
I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Elvis Presley.
Yeah. Did you know that Elvis was upset when I said he couldn't form past participles? Yeah, he said, I'm all shook up.
Yeah.
So,
well, you probably did know. You were alive when he was alive.
Well, actually, no, because when Elvis died, his spirit entered my spirit.
Really? You're like the opposite of Elvis.
Yeah. No, well, I'm sort of Elvis's spirit living on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like, Elvis as he was getting old.
Yeah.
And he was,
in fact, if I teach a lot of kids, and if I was going to encourage kids not to take drugs, I wouldn't feed them all this theoretical bullshit. I'd just show them Elvis before drugs and Elvis after drugs.
Yeah, and he looks scary. He's bloated.
Oh, he's horrible. Yeah. There's a really famous picture of him. Well, apparently he was. I read it in Wikipedia, so it must be true. Apparently, it's always the acid test for me, Wikipedia. No, apparently towards the end of his life, he was eating like 70 hamburgers a day.
Yeah,
and he couldn't poo, and then it all came out like at once, like every month. It sort of used to well up, and then once a month, boom,
and he shot out through the ceiling.
Yeah, well, no, if it was alive today, they'd probably sell it on eBay for some fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Elvis
is shit. Yes, he is. Look.
Yeah.
Damien Hirst would have it suspended in a tank full of formaldehyde.
Sort of Malcolm McLaren, something like that. Tony Wilson or someone, This is Elvis's shit, and it's awesome.
Well, I've seen his hair. I've seen
have you heard
hair
Elvis's shit?
Fucking hate Tony
Ripley's,
Wilson,
believe it or not.
Yeah.
Seen what? Where?
Elvis's hair was in Ripley's in London.
His hairs.
Yeah, his hair, like his hair from his head. Well, I hope it was from his head.
Yeah, they broke up. His hair decided to be a solo act. Is now touring the world. Yeah,
probably would now if he was alive now. It's like when the Spice Girls split up, isn't it? And like they all went their own separate ways. Yeah,
Elvis was holding him back.
Yeah, he's got a lot to hold back as well, hasn't he? That's
yeah. Especially when he goes to the toilet.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because he actually tried to sort of ban the Beatles from coming to America because they were satanic. It had nothing to do with the fact he was jealous. They might be selling more records than him,
And they could
shit. Is that true?
And they could shit,
and all of them regular as clockwork.
Yeah. The hilarious thing is that they were banned. They used to burn the Beatles albums, singing hymns, and then 10 years later they were burning the Sex Pistols album, singing George Harrison. It's brilliant,
Wow.
My sweet lord, So he changed his fucking tune, literally.
It's a sad tradition because you can't burn an MP3, so it's like.
You can. Well, I thought it was like burning. Yeah.
Some woman in America visited Graceland, found a nail clipping in the carpet, and put it on display. Ugh. That could be anybody's.
It might be Elvis's.
How do you know it was Elvis's? Yeah. Yeah. Well, because
I
apparently,
want to know the source of that because that sounds like he's just heard that in a shop.
Yeah.
Like some.
Well, I thought
somebody's just been on holiday and that's what they came back with.
Well, no, I thought it was great when somebody said that, Elvis is still alive. And part of the proof that he's still alive is that Elvis is an anagram for lives. And I thought, so when he was born, his parents knew.
Mind blown.
Yeah. The CIA and these secretive
they have to
organizations, they're
foresight.
notorious for like hiding their secret plans within acronym. It's their
They knew
fatal
all
flaw.
along. Yeah.
But Elvis wasn't he making like a load of money in Vegas?
As an Elvis impersonator, that's one of the theories. Yeah.
Yeah, because they always impersonate him when he's like old and fat and ugly, don't they? They never do like the young, sexy Elvis.
Like the good Elvis, prime Elvis.
That's right. It was great. Well, because it's strange because whenever you get the Elvis compilations, like 40 songs, like the first 35 are always from the first year of his career.
Oh yeah, Heartbreak Hotel, Jailhouse Rock, and then Now or Never is like. Yeah.
That was kind of when it started going. GI Blues was when he started to go crap. That was the first crappy film.
I didn't like that one.
I thought it was not as bad as the others.
It's not aging very well. I read that like the value of Elvis memorabilia is going down quite a bit, like steadily, because all the fans are dying and they're not getting replaced by new fans. Like other bands, like Beatles, Led Zeppelin, like new young people discover it, and then it's like the fan base regenerates. But it's not happening with Elvis.
Well, the strange thing about the Beatles was that when music's good, when the band splits up, they go out of fashion, and then if they're good, they kind of go beyond fashion, and paradoxically, they become cool again because they're no longer located in that kind of time. And in the 90s, the Beatles were cooler than in the 70s. Right, because in the 70s they were quite ignored. They were like there was a plan to have a statue of the Beatles, and like nobody was funding it. And
probably because they were other bands taking over, like Zeppelin.
That's what I mean, because that was the phase when they went out of fashion, and in the 90s they went kind of beyond time. They went beyond fashion, and people were like listening to it again, saying this is great, and you don't have to be part of the 60s. It's not like your dad's music anymore. It's got beyond that.
So what you were saying about like
Spice Girls, what's going to happen to them?
Spice Girls. Do you think we'll like love One Direction and Nicki Minaj?
I would be considered like really cool in like 10 years.
Like WAP is going to be like, we'd be like, oh, we didn't get it at the time, but like it was.
Well, because Genius is only.
We got it at the time. Don't you worry, we got it at the fucking time, mate.
Like, no,
only it's like
right for all its time. Yeah.
We didn't appreciate it.
I feel so guilty.
I'm picturing this like dystopian future society based purely on irony. Like that's the currency, and that's when One Direction will find their resurgence.
They'll come back.
This is good.
It's like the Monkees, isn't it? I mean, the Monkees are people. Well, one of the funniest things I read about the Monkees was when it said, "Note the fractured spelling, echoing the spelling of that other famous group, the Beatles." I thought, the other famous group.
Yeah.
It's like,
awesome.
Yeah. Like the other famous group, the Rolling Stones.
Oh, Tony just messaged he's not coming.
Fuck you, Tony.
Seeing the doctor,
Oh, well. So, Michael,
it looks like then, Jack. It looks like you're going to have to fill in. Can I ask? Jack? Can you play that guitar that's behind you?
I can, yes.
Yeah.
Can we have a musical ending to the show?
Fucking Ben Verth, honestly. We were hoping he wouldn't. No one would bring it up. We were hoping he wouldn't notice. He'd forget it was there. Thank you.
Now I want to.
This is now variety. We're now variety.
I want good old-fashioned Monday night variety. Yeah, I want to see variety now.
I could do a bit of devil.
Bring in a glitter ball and Jonathan fucking Ross.
You know what always makes me laugh is on the X Factor when you got Simon Cowell, this really tough judge, and he says, "You're having experience," and there's always some dickhead who goes, "I do karaoke." Like it's going to be. Oh my god, karaoke! A true professional on it tonight.
There's one audition that sticks in my mind where this guy goes saying, "I've spent years practicing singing along to songs by having it playing through my earbuds through my iPod." He was just singing along, and he starts singing. And it's clearly like the first time he's ever sung without earpods in. And he sounds absolutely horrible. Because obviously, if you're not listening to yourself, you can't tune yourself.
No, but
one of the judges said, I think that instead of doing that for those years, you should have just spent the time trying to get a girlfriend. She said that to him. That was brutal.
Has anyone ever said to Simon Cowell, well, why don't you do it? Why don't you get up here and sing?
Well, it doesn't work like that, does it? Because one of the funniest ones was where he was absolutely terrible, and he said that he'd been encouraged by his wife. And Simon Cowell says, "What does your wife do when you do that?" And the guy goes, well, sometimes she says nothing. Yeah. Other times she joins in. And Simon Cowell goes, she must love you very, very much. And he goes, she does. And it's like, he doesn't realise he's taking a piss out of him.
Yeah.
To be honest, I might audition myself. I can't sing, but I could really use a TV credit to put on my comedy bio.
It doesn't matter. Does it?
Just have my social media on my T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Well, that's the way it is now.
Just get up and do
like,
jokes, Charlie. You go, what are you singing?
I know
it's
somebody.
a song I wrote myself.
I know somebody who put on his CV, I'm a BBC sports commentator, because the BBC had a website and he used to comment on the forums about sport. So
did you?
That was what it was like when the internet first exploded.
No.
I used to write for Channel 4's comedy website, and you almost felt like you were at Channel 4. Of course, you're not. It doesn't mean anything. But in those days, 15 years ago, it's like really exciting, you know.
What is the worst lie everybody's ever told on a CV? That'll be a laugh.
That is good.
Fast learner, competent, good attitude, positive, male. No, that wasn't true. Barely.
Well, you kind of have to be positive, don't you? It's like, I love it on Facebook where they have these groups and you have to say that you abide by the rules before they let you in. It's like, you're not going to say, yes, I am to be a complete bastard and rip the shit out of everything and spam you fuckless. I mean, I guess you would say, yes. Yes.
Spam you fuckless. Okay. Well, we got a fringe show title out of this show at any rate.
Is that like
fantastic?
I'm going to remember that, yeah.
Spam you fuckless.
No, I think the worst lie.
Are you ready to make us laugh fuckless?
Yeah, no. I've already exhausted all my interesting stories.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Verth.
That's a pity. Everybody, welcome to the stage, Michael Monkhouse.
All right. Oh, fuck. Oh, right, yeah. Don't exaggerate. So how you doing? You doing all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think I care? Yeah. Right. Well, I've been doing this for years now. I'm still shit. So let's get it out of the way as quickly and painlessly as possible, so I can go to the pub and get pissed instead. My name is Michael Monkhouse, Michele Convento, if you're on Google Translate. Half my act is shit, but the other half is total shit. Trying to combine these two things. I love it when people say, all the way from Italy. It's like, this is Zoom. I couldn't be in the next fucking room for all the effort I've made. But anyway, I consider myself Italian now. I've been living in Italy. Seriously, I've been living in Rome for 20 years. And after 20 years in Rome, I finally found a great place to work. London. Yeah, it's fuck all here. I used to hate my work, but now I'm an astronomer and my job is looking up. Yeah. You might have laughed. That's the only joke I know that doesn't involve the words fuck, wank, or spice. So there's a lot of effort getting that out, believe me. Seriously. No, but I consider myself Italian because 20 years ago I bought The Divine Comedy. Have you read The Divine Comedy? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's the level of energy I would expect from people who are reading The Divine Comedy. Yeah. The Divine Comedy. It's not very funny, is it? It's be the Italian sense of humor. Yeah. Seriously, I consider myself Italian because 20 years ago I bought a beautiful copy of The Divine Comedy, beautiful bound copy with lovely illustrations 20 years ago, and I put it proudly on my bookcase. Yeah. And every day for the last 20 years, I've gone nowhere near the fucker, which makes me Italian. I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been reading Samuel Beckett, Happy Days. You read that?
No.
Yeah, that's the energy I want to maintain through my set. So you're doing well. I'm reading Samuel Beckett, Happy Days. It is total fucking shit. Can someone tell me what page the Fonzie comes in? It's not very funny so far, yeah. I've been reading Samuel Beckett, Waiting for Godot. It is total fucking shit. I don't know who this Godot fucker is, but he's obviously stud you up. Get on with your life, for Christ's sake, you know. Happens to everybody. Don't make a fucking big deal out of it, you know. I've been listening to the new One Direction album. It is total fucking shit. No, there's no joke coming. One Direction. They really are shit, aren't they? Yeah. People say to me, Michael, you can't love the Spice Girls and hate One Direction because they're exactly the same. And it's true. Spice Girls, One Direction, I'm watching 5 Pussies. And I'll clean that one up. You know, I can't understand why people say the Marx Brothers are so hilariously funny, you know? I read Das Kapital 5 times, nothing. Must be the German sense of humor. They're famous for that, aren't they? Yeah. Charlie Chaplin said, a day without laughter is a wasted day. And he was right. That's why I never watched Charlie fucking Chaplin. I can never remember any 70s disco, but I will survive.
Nah.
Yeah. I can never remember any rock and roll. Ain't that a shame? I can never remember any Alanis Morissette. Isn't that ironic? I can never remember any talk. Such a shame. I can never remember any Some Like It Hot, but nobody's perfect. I can never remember any One Direction. Thank fuck for that, because they are total fucking shit. No, there's no joke coming. They really are shit, you know. So, what's that? Oh, I'm getting heckled by a fellow performer. Like, fucks off your idols. That doesn't mean very much, really. Yeah. Michael Monkhouse fucks off, yes. Michael Monkhouse fucks your idols, perhaps. But Michael Monkhouse fucks off your idols, no. He's banned. No, I think you mean bad Michael Jackson. Yeah. So, what did Michael Jackson do to his penis during Teletubbies? Beat it. Just beat it. Michael Jackson's death took a while to sink in. So did he, apparently. You know, I love it whenever you talk about Michael Jackson and you say maybe he was a pedo, and people say, well, maybe, but he was a great dancer. So fucking what? Doesn't make it right, you know? Fuck the kid you like as long as you do the moonwalk afterwards. No. That's not how it works, you know. Actually, I've got a theory about a moonwalk. I think he only learned to do it to confuse little children, you know. It's like, which direction is he trying to fuck me from now? Shit. I don't know. Fucker's been dead for 10 years. I'm still taking a piss out of him. But, you know. Anyway, no, my favourite group at the moment, it's a very unknown group. You've probably never heard of it. It's a cult group. I've been called that. It's a very unknown group. Beatles.
Woo!
And, no, I kind of keep up with the latest musical trends, you know. So. I said to Paul McCartney, who has the biggest penis in Southeast England, he said, your mother should know. Because my mother is a whore. So I'm joking. My mother's not a whore. She does it for free. What's the difference between the Spice Girls and my mother's legs? the Spice Girls occasionally get back together. What's the difference between COVID and my mother's legs? COVID won't spread forever. What's the difference between my mother's vagina and my mother's living room? You take your shoes off before you enter her living room.
Oh.
Now, yeah, one person laughing. That's 3 more than usual. Yeah, no, I'm seriously, I'm glad. No, I'm glad you're laughing. I am, because I was doing these jokes the other night and I didn't know, but my dad was in the audience. Really. No, but he was really cool about it. Afterwards, he comes up to me and he says, "Mike, I know you're just mucking around, but next time, can you not make any more jokes about the Spice Girls?" Religion's a tough one, you know that. So anyway, I'm gonna fuck off now. I think I'll be going on long enough. So I'm gonna fuck off. I'm gonna finish with my topical joke, right? Yeah, a bit topical. I can do it. Yeah, Jim Davidson, that's me. So I'm kind of like Jack D, but not as enthusiastic. So here we go. All right, topical joke. Self-isolation is like prison, but the sex isn't as good. That's all from me. You've been mediocre as usual. Glad that's over. Thank you.
Applause, applause, applause.
Applause.
Michael Monkhouse, everyone.
That's more than I
You're a
normally
very
do.
angry man. Very angry man. Shitting on everybody.
I've just been trying to think of show names for his first hour, and Michael Monkhouse fucks off your idols was my first
Yeah,
idea.
I think Michael shits on everything.
What about Michael
I'm
Monkhouse?
like Elvis. I'm like Elvis.
No,
Oh,
no one
Michael
is safe.
Monkhouse, Michael
I
Monkhouse,
always
get your
thought-
flaming torches ready.
I always thought Winnie the Pooh sounded like a polite term for anal. Really, I did. Well, not always. Sometimes I thought other things. I didn't just sit.
But
for
then,
my life.
did you hear the way
Thought
when
in
he
my
speaks and goes, "Oh yeah"?
head. Shit stirring. Yeah, that's how you, isn't it?
How do you
Anal,
tap into
fuck
like
that shit.
your comedy, Michael? I think it's very British, very English. The way you were.
It's very animated. I make a special effort just for you.
It's too animated.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I'm a bit like Ben Elton in his early days, aren't I?
Yeah.
Ball of energy.
I don't know who that is, but yeah.
He was a ball of energy.
Your references as well. They're all going over my head today.
Sorry. Never heard of
Ben
the
Elton and
Beatles?
Bob Monkhouse.
Just like your friend.
The
double
Beatles are
act.
quite good. The Beatles are quite good. They're worth checking out. It's a shame they never made it big.
Yeah, I should have got some Irish people.
They make it very big for me. Anyway.
Right,
We never made it in North Korea.
Last comedian.
Just exploded.
You done? Last comedian, Ben Verth, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
I've met Ben. Let's fucking give a round of applause.
Wait, hold on, I'm trying
There
to
it is.
make it. There it is.
There he is.
I do it. There it is. I've got the branding up at my bit.
Yeah. How are you, man?
I'm good. I am good. How are you doing, Jack, you cheeky sausage? I hear you're back at your normal human man employment. How's that working out for you?
Yeah, it's grand. Back to sales, selling that lovely fragrance. Mm-hmm.
Is that what you do? Is it? Are you a perfume sales boy?
Yeah. I sell the smells.
Just tell
smells
your
nice.
parents you're gay. It saves time, believe me.
Yeah. It's all right. Pays the rent. Pays the rent.
Pays the rent. Yeah.
What's the best one you smell that you sold today? Like if what would you sell me?
Gay conversation.
Okay, so you know the Wolf of Wall Street. You know how he does that. That sell me this pen.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You sell pens?
I kind of do that. No, because the whole idea is listening. So you always ask them like, so what do you want? Why are you searching for a fragrance? Or why are you searching for a pen? And they talk, and then you listen, and then you can, help the customer out.
Cool.
Sales.
Do you ever do it kind of stealthily, like when like somebody will come over and then you'll be like, "Well, hello, what the fuck is that? What the come on, man, for fire, you need this.
Jesus.
Come on, now.
It's like,
Fuck, you got a bag of shoes in there? What the fuck is this?
my child just died. Chanel number 5.
Or I get really personal and say,
Oh, that's bad.
when was the last time you made love?
1973.
I don't want to smell like that. Jesus.
Yeah. You know, you have to hit their
Tell you put that in bottles.
Get them with the emotions.
An aphrodisiac,
Yeah.
That's funny. That is. Why don't you get some sort of scent sponsorship for Rascal Comedy?
Yeah. I think Rascal Comedy would smell of desperation.
Cool opening pitch, boys. Yeah.
Which perfume most smells of desperation?
Believe in yourself, yeah.
I don't know.
Is it Eau de George from Asda or something like that?
Or
the cheap ones.
Or the toilet.
Something cheap. Just the toilet.
Ooh, the toilet.
The toilet water. That sounds amazing.
The toilet.
It's
capital branding.
It's half true. Yeah.
Water from the toilet. So Ben, how are you in all your podcasts?
I've stopped a lot of them at the moment. Actually, I don't have the time. I've got a job doing very important work in a garden centre. So,
what's it like?
You know, got to sell those petunias to pensioners. You know what I mean? I think we all know what I mean.
You're in sales now as well.
I mean, yeah, sure, sales. I am part of the selling of. So I'm a till guy in a garden centre, and it's long hours, and there's not a lot of laughs in it. There's not a lot of laughs.
Is there a special password? If we say it to you, you'll give us a marijuana plant.
Yeah. Sure. Hey, I mean, if you are, I will. We don't sell that, but to be honest, if you're willing to come across from Britain to get a marijuana plant from me, I'll make sure there is one in the centre, and I will get. If you're willing to make that effort, then I'm going to reciprocate.
Hear what Gary said. Garden centre work is good. It grows on you.
Well done.
It's unfortunate that the most decent joke tonight has been by a guy watching us. I mean, that's.
Well, did you know that Santa's little helper uprooted a begonia? Yeah, I thought, that's self-raising flower. Hey.
I mean, the best setup tonight. Yeah. I mean, that one.
Did you plan that?
No, it was not forced at all, was it?
I think you planted it. How do you? Is there like a lot?
My mother runs to seed. Anyway.
Ben, you know when like customers go to talk with you when you're making small talk, like I got a lot today of people going, "You must be delighted to be back," and I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah." Oh my, yeah. I mean, like, okay. I mean, I'm just gonna come out. People will say that. They go, "Oh, you're very busy. Oh, you must be over the moon." It's like, I don't know how you think this works, but we don't like at the close of a day stand around a giant pile of money that we've made and then all take an equal share. I'm barely making rent today. You fucking old cow from Dublin 6. Like, it's not. These people think I'm like the boss of the place, and
do they complain? No, I'm not happy.
Yeah, somebody complains. Yeah, there's a lot of people that complain, and I don't care.
My cactus is shaped like a dick. I want a refund. That kind of thing.
I find that a lot of people are buying cactuses because they are shaped like dicks. Like, there's a certain look to some cactus buyers that you just go, all right, I don't want to know what happens.
Seriously, BDSM builder.
Yeah, do they wear a
masochist?
There's they've exhausted all the kind of the sexual grotesqueness of their own life in lockdown, and they're looking for something a bit weirder now that things have opened up again. This has gone a strange. I'm not gonna lie, it's gone a strange way. This conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just enjoying that.
This show
preserved on the internet forever.
Dark place.
No, you're right. We need more women on the show. Otherwise, that conversation would never have happened.
I don't know what it is about me being on Rascal. It goes weird. It goes weird, mate.
It does, and I blame you.
I mean, I blame you. So we'll agree to meet halfway and say it's Charlie Wallace's fault.
Yeah, I was about to say I blame me. It's
poor Charlie.
Or me.
Well,
here I am in my white cube.
You have the look of somebody who hasn't done anything wrong in your life, but it's just less hassle to say it was you than fight your corner.
Yeah, it's like there's one thing worse than being talked about, and that's cancer. But also not being talked about that as well.
I used to have a line which was Oscar Wilde said there is only one thing worse than being talked about behind one's back. and that is One Direction. They're shit.
Oh my God, you in One Direction.
He's
There's a
not
theme.
getting it though.
Man,
That's a bit
There's
closer.
a theme with
They're
your
going to
work.
be massive in 20 years.
Yeah.
Baby, you light up my world like nobody.
So the funny thing is, I don't actually know any One Direction songs. I just saw them and thought, what a bunch of wankers. They must be shit. They could be really
Jack.
good for it,
Jack, get the guitar.
What I am, you know.
Oh no, Ben
Remember, like,
Verth,
famous,
you.
yeah.
Baby, you light up my world like nobody else.
I'm getting a karaoke One Direction.
Oh, man,
All my dreams came true.
Charlie's gone. He can't deal with it.
Gone.
Can't deal with the slice of realness that we threw at him.
I only know that
It's
one.
too
God
real.
bless us all.
Well,
It's too real.
In 2012, I used to be a DJ in the west of Ireland. And
Of
we
course
would...
you did, mate. Of course you did.
It's like the in-between.
You've got the exact look of a DJ in the west of Ireland in 2012. That is
But
your
I-
100% look.
Wow.
He would just
Oh,
play
yeah.
Black
Wear
Lace
a leather
Superman on a loop.
jacket and everything, you know.
I'm off of that. That was a good
When
song.
that-
Yeah.
That song was the atomic bomb of song. You would drop it, and all the girls would go, ah! And they'd all run to the
No,
dance
yeah,
floor.
but you know what it is? It's like the Village People, YMCA. Everybody takes the piss, but they always enjoy it. It's
They
good
love
laugh,
that one,
you know. Yeah, and what I hate are the people who pretend they're dancing ironically when they're enjoying it. Just enjoy it. Let your fucking hair down for once, you
So we're still
Macarena.
talking about
Rock
One
the
Direction.
know. The Village People, yeah.
Yeah.
YMCA.
So
Fancy music.
Ben and I are actually going to be doing a real life show in the
Wow.
flesh in October. Are you
Yeah.
are you getting ready for that, Ben? Are you training?
I sure am, yes. If you're referring to 3 nights of comedy in Dublin at the...
Wow.
it's a really good venue.
Drop Dead Twice.
Drop Dead Twice, that's the name of it. It's part of... it's a festival called Eargasm. It's the Party Tits, of which I am a member of that show. We're starting a new series this Thursday on our YouTube and Facebook page. It's just us. We throw themed parties, and it's 3 of us, and they all fuck around. We're doing a live show on the Saturday. On the Sunday, Sinead Walsh's show, The Rollover.
Sunday
And
Rollover,
you're on
yeah.
Friday night. You're opening the festival on Friday night, a live Rascal show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get your tickets. If you head on to if you're watching, and this sounds like it's up your Strasse, then head over to the Party Tits Facebook page, and there's some links to Eargasm to grab your tickets. I reliably inform one of us, if you can believe that one of us is actually hairier than me, one of the other Party Tits. Every person who buys a ticket goes into a prize draw, and Kigo, the hairiest tit, I mean, I can't believe I'm describing him like that, but
beard.
he's got a big beard. He will be shaved for charity, and the shavee will be one of the people who bought a ticket selected at random for the show. So if you've ever wanted to have a laugh, it depends how far. I mean, it's going to be one of the first live events back. Let's find out how far it goes. There's the beard, and then, to be honest, anything after that is up to you guys.
I'm interested to see what he looks like behind that big, because it's a big beard. It's full on Kratos beard. What's underneath?
There's just a series of little beards. It's just a series of other small chins with little beards
What type
on
of
them.
chin do you think he has? A butt chin?
I think he looks as handsome as he does with a beard. I think there's infuriatingly no secrets beneath his beards.
I think it's Voldemort's face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harry.
In fact, it'd be really funny if you put something in there, shaved him, put something in there, and then put a fake beard on top for the audience to reveal it. Let's take bets. What's it going to be?
Yeah.
A map of Australia.
Go on and on and on with like a different fake beard, pulling it off.
I always like the idea that in that first Harry Potter film that like Voldemort's face was on the back. I would have liked to have seen like if the chin was an arse and his arse was hanging out the other. So Harry, is that an arse chin? This guy's the baddie.
What the fuck's going on?
Quirrell's trying to be really quiet. Quirrell's trying to be really quiet, and then Voldemort says muffled sound. I could hear you masturbating,
I once saw a production of Aristophanes, right?
It was fucking shit.
It was total and utter fucking shit. It's all Greek to me. It was total shit. That's my catchphrase. Get your own. Yeah, that and it's shit. Yeah. No, but the biggest laugh. No, the biggest laugh was when one of the characters said, "Is that your beard, or have your pubes come out for a drink?" Which was not in the original Aristophanes. But...
Was it not?
No. Well,
they did a quick rewrite. He did a rewrite after the premiere.
Yeah, they had a contest to find the world's most hirsute pubis. Yeah, I won that by a hair. Thank you.
Right. Anyway, we're going to continue on with the show. Ben, ready to hit the stage.
Perfect.
Ben got some new material as well. Let's give it up for him all the way from Dublin. Probably just down the road from me. It is Ben Verth, everyone. Woo!
Hello, peoples of the internet. I'm just going to start with a couple of lines. I want to see if these work. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? In a way, it doesn't matter. When you haven't taken the bins out for a week, they both fucking stink. So that's one. Cool. I thought Stations of the Cross was just Catholic anger management. That's another one. Oh. And this one kind of leads into the theme of what I'm going to... I've been playing the COVID drinking game. What you do is every night you drink. That's... That. I am going to mention it. I'm going to mention the C word, COVID. I hope you don't mind. A lot of people are trying not to, but I don't care. I'm going to... everyone's having a tough time of it. But I'm trying to get it into perspective. Somebody the other day I heard over saying that it was our plague. That's how it was, like this whole pandemic situation. This is our plague, and it's not. It's not. The best case scenario about the plague was that blood and mucus would come out of your eyes and anus of you and everybody you loved. And then you survived. You were blinded and it was difficult to sit down, but you survived. That was the situation. With COVID, the worst, really, the most of us have experienced just our hands were rough and our thoughts made us sad. It's not comparable. Really, and I know others have had it worse. Like, I don't want to take away the pain that a lot of people have suffered in this, but if we're honest, the most of us, we just thought that the Queen's Gambit was maybe 2 episodes too long. That's the most that we've had to deal with in the last couple of months. No wonder that the number one conspiracy theory about coronavirus, COVID-19, was that real? Is this a real thing? Is this happening? It's a pandemic, but SuperValu is still open. Is this a real thing that's happening? Like, that's where we are. It's a reality check. It's like this is my job, or was my job, and it's an ego check. I had to stop doing this and find everything that I was skilled at in some way was closed down. That's why I'm working in a garden centre now. I'm not naturally a plant guy. Whoa. Even though to look at me you'd think, yes, he is. I'm not naturally a plant guy. Yeah, it's an ego that, I don't know about the rest of you, but there's people who have like a thought in the back of their head that goes, if it all goes tits up, I'll just get a job in McDonald's. I think we've been there. I think we've all had that. If something goes wrong, I'll just get a job in McDonald's. Well, I don't know about you, don't know how your year was, but the tits in my life definitely went north. And I applied, and guess who didn't even get a job interview? This guy. Like, that's what? Like, I didn't get even a job interview. There's a very unique feeling when you realize that McDonald's has standards and you fall below them. That's a punch to the gut. I mean, I thought I was a shoo-in. I thought I was a fucking shoo-in for that job because I know the menu like back to front. Like, I know I've got hair that says vegan, but I have a body that says he's not. And I spent, and that's probably why I didn't get the job interview. The moment my name showed up on their system, an alarm went off, and then they did the calculations and worked out how much it would cost the company if I moved from in front of the counter to behind it. That's when I realized that I probably am part of the McDonald's team. I do have a job. I'm just, a freelance consumption agent would be a nice way of saying that. And then I wrote that bit, and I was like, okay, I know it doesn't seem like that, but that was the original thought. And then I was kind of moving deeper into it, which is, who the fuck do I think I am to just presume that I could work in McDonald's? I mean, we've all got this idea that McDonald's is shit because there's such a thing as the McJob, and everybody that we think of that works in McDonald's is like that cartoon guy off The Simpsons. It's there's a stoic personal quality. We like people who work in McDonald's are people we should. I mean, we've all been there on a Saturday night. We all understand the shit that staff have to put up with. We were all out clapping on a Thursday night for nurses and doctors and things like that. I think after this is all over, we need to be clapping on a Monday night for all the fast food workers for the weekend that they've just fucking had. Like it takes a lot to work in fast food, and I couldn't do it. I would probably just be sarcastic and then tell everyone to go fuck themselves. It takes a lot of disconnect from life. It takes a lot of stoic ability. It takes a lot of patience. I mean, when I think about the people who worked in McDonald's that I know, one of them's a school teacher, one of them's a policeman, one of them's now a Scottish National Party councillor. Like, that takes patience. That is a job that takes patience. Convincing a group of people who were once independent to try that again. That's, there's a lot to be said about people who work at McDonald's. Anyway, that's shit. I'm not going to do that again. Anyway, so I'm going to finish on just full circle, going back to what Jack was talking about at the start of the show, which is areas of Dublin, because another thing that I've been doing in lockdown is... when we were able to do that, I was trying to find a flat, trying to find a place to live. I'm from Scotland. I'm now living in Dublin, and it's a whole world to explore. We were looking for a place, and what I've discovered is there's a basic rule of thumb that I've learned about flat hunting in Dublin, about the different parts of Dublin. And if you'll indulge me, I'll just, if anyone else is looking, is that you'd love to live in the Raths. Is how this works. Yeah. God help you if you wander into the Ballies, and do not mix up your clones. Those are the three rules. Basically, Rathmines, Rathgar, yes please. Ballyfermot, Ballymun, no thank you. Clontarf, this is nice. Clondalkin, help me, they have my family. Those are the rules. Those are the rules of something that makes no sense to anybody who's not watching this in Dublin. And a lot of Dublin place names are misleading is another thing. They lull you into a false sense of security, a lot of these places in Dublin. Like Bluebell, that's a place. And Dolphin's Barn is another place. And Finglas. And they all sound nice, but they're not. It's like Finglas. Like Finglas, it sounds all beautiful and twinkly, and then you go there, and the twinkling is off the blade that guy's waving outside the Supermax. That's the line that I thought would get more. Ironically, a great up-and-coming area is swords, even though it's named after, like, the original weapon. Well, this has been a deeply unpleasant experience for myself. I imagine for the other people on this show. New material is always brave, so pat on the back for that, Benny. It's even more brave when you do it just to a little camera on your laptop.
3 other comedians.
So I feel prepared for getting back on stage in October, where my material will never be as funny as just someone shaving a man. Anyway, thank you. You have been looking at me. I have been Ben. For fuck's sake.
Whoa.
So brave. So brave.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, I feel like your set was full of gratitude, Ben.
That was great.
Sure. Misplaced, probably. But,
Misplaced gratitude. You were like, I'm not so lucky. Like, it could have been, this pandemic could have been worse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it absolutely could have been. It absolutely could have been. That's what I was trying to get at, but I feel like I failed to do that.
I was thinking about, like, imagine, like, thank God it didn't affect kids, really. It was just the old people. Like,
I don't know. It would have been better if you had. I mean,
they're the ones
they
that got
don't
us
need to
in
work.
these
You would have
things.
sex then, wouldn't you? If you had kids.
Bending COVID is only something to scare old people and to be nice.
Well, I'm convinced that in 20 years they'll say it was all just made up. It was a sort of conspiracy thing that never actually happened.
Well, they're saying that now.
Well, no, a bit like they said with September the 11th, it didn't really happen. I think lots of American families disagree with that theory, but you know.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm going to steal this for 2 seconds. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Well,
Especially Gary D. Phillip. You're the man. You had funnier jokes than the comedians. So if you enjoyed the show,
Fuck you, Gary.
Gary, you're a legend. If you'd like to support the show, buy us coffee. Unfortunately, this show isn't free to run. Like, it comes out of my own pocket. I got to pay for all this StreamYard. Yeah, throw me a few squid, as they say in London a few years ago. What's Gary saying? Oh, Gary's going.
It's colon O.
Oh, that's how people talk now. Yeah.
Colon O? Colon O.
What does it mean exactly?
Okay, I can't get out of single mode. Hang on.
He pays for this.
I pay for this, and now I can't even get out. Come on, man.
It's always in technology, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you still doing this from a fucking phone?
Yeah.
Would you believe it? This is going out live.
It's like an old Nokia from 1993.
Yeah.
I can't even fix.
Yeah.
Come on.
Took me years to get this far.
Oh, come on, man. What the hell? This is the worst show ever.
So,
All right, I have an idea.
I've done far worse than this, believe me.
Come on, the fuck you cunt.
There have been open mics completely filled with people who are doing it for the first time. I always tell myself that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
Okay,
Ben
now I'm
Verth.
full
Ben
Ben,
Verth.
It was another 10 minutes. Go on.
Sorry, guys.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
I just had to get rid of myself from the stream. Right. So, did you guys want an Elvis song before?
Yeah, go on. Do One Direction. That's what I really, really
Yeah,
want.
thanks.
What are we feeling? Jailhouse Rock?
Yeah, go on. Never heard it called that before.
Baby, Let's Play House?
No, Jailhouse Rock is a nice one.
Jailhouse
Does that
Rock,
game
okay.
entail?
Walking through a party in the
He
county
said.
jail. Baby man was jumping and began to wail. Man was jumping and the drum began to swing. Jennifer was knocked out, chair, but see, let's rock. Baby, let's rock. Everybody in the whole cell block was dancing to the Jailhouse Rock. Everybody in the whole cell block was dancing to the Jailhouse.
Wow.
I think Ben was just joking when he suggested this.
Uncanny.
Only much.
Do you know?
Judging by his face, he didn't think you'd actually do it.
No, if I
Almost
closed
guessed.
my eyes, I would have thought that was really Elvis in the room.
I sang it way too
Yeah.
high.
Uncanny.
Near the end, I was like,
Yeah, that's right.
Just like if
Yeah,
Elvis
anyway.
was completely
Yeah,
different
like-
in every way.
like, Elvis with his balls in a vice, maybe. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, join us next week for another edition of White People Doing White Things.
Bye-bye, everybody.
No, Flake.
How dare you?